is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
Good evening and welcome to Headlines Now. What a day it's been. We've had the mix of the good, the bad and the ugly. It's 8 on the clock. Hello, I'm Evelyn Matthew.
Hi, I'm Peer Mohammed. I'm bringing you details of the state government's failure to stop the Madras High Court's interim order on school fee structure.
I'm Shabir Ahmed and I'll bring you all the latest on the standoff between Archbishop's men and journalists.
And I'm Ashmit Kumar and I'll tell you if your loans are getting expensive from tomorrow.
So there you go. That's all coming your way this evening. But a quick scan of our top stories tonight. In a rare case, a television crew was held hostage at the Archdiocese while the men in khaki stood witness to the clash. The free crew demand a case to be filed. Angry parents raised their voices against the stay order on school fees November the 29th to decide how much parents need to shell out.
Parents side, we have no confusion. We are very clear. The management itself is confusing us. They are trying to divide us.
The state's cine artists are once again the lucky recipients of the national awards. Tamil cinema brings home 3. An 80-year-old woman is freed from her Trichy cell. She's granted release on humanitarian grounds on Annadurai's birth anniversary.
Lush green atmosphere, the swanky building which is not really an IT office as many people would think.
Meanwhile, the city is gifted a grand haven of books and a perfect reading den. Karunanidhi inaugurates a state-of-the-art library.
That was Leander and Mahesh should be playing, and we have got the option 1 hour before the match to change, but as of now, Leander and Mahesh should be playing.
And as India gets set to witness their favourite tennis duo on the tennis courts once again, they hope to take down the Brazilians in the Davis Cup at home ground.
Rajini sir ho purchu jinglika bimble so jinglika bimble sarinte.
And he may be the robo and the scientist, but there is someone who can tickle his funny bone and make him the perfect ladies' man. And here's what's making headlines in the national quarters as well. Top leaders of major political parties meet at Manmohan Singh's residence. There's no consensus on AFSPA, but a delegation to visit the valley soon. A key witness in the Sohrabuddin fake encounter case is shot, but he is out of danger. In a big blow for former IPL chairman Lalit Modi, the Bombay High Court dismisses Modi's petition to reconstitute the BCCI committee. And on the eve of discussions over the monetary policies, economists are divided over the RBI's action. Well, it's been another day when the freedom for press persons was denied. Barely a week after we reported that a camera person was assaulted by a senior police officer, today, very dramatically, a television crew was held hostage at the Archdiocese in the heart of Santhome. It all started when the crew went in while covering a court inquiry. The journalists claimed that they were threatened and harassed by the church authorities there and then were held hostage at the Archbishop's house in Santhome. They were then forcefully kept inside the premises for more than 2 hours while the gates were locked. Drama unfolded further as other reporters arrived to demand the release of those taken hostage. And in what may seem as the most unlikely scene, as at a place like the Archbishop's house, the other reporters then desperately tried to break open the gates to rescue their colleagues, but all this happened right in the front of the policemen who stood as mute spectators to that scene. Among those threatened was also a camera person of Ndtv-Hindu. But after quite a scuffle, the journalists then rescued their fellow colleagues who were inside. They then staged a road roko outside the church demanding an unconditional apology. The Archbishop conceded to those demands later on and apologized. Meanwhile, the journalists have filed an FIR against the authorities there. The Additional Commissioner of Police also arrived at the scene thereafter and brought things pretty much under the control.
See, as you know that this incident happened as one of your reporter was, locked inside the church, and he was almost 2 hours, as you told me. So basically, Bishop being the head, you wanted that he could have taken perhaps, quick action, but he could not do that. Second was that perhaps my officer was also there. So they could have taken quick action. So that suppose church does not want them to cover, he could have asked them to get out. Then during that melee, I think there was some kind of push and pull also. The three issues were there. So already Bishop, he had to take the responsibility. He said, yes, what happened, it was our mistake. Then the other things, I think footage there, the people who has, done the jostling and pushing, usually complain, And third thing, our inefficient, our officer, who has, not acted properly. These two issues will do the very fair. Please give the complaint and take action accordingly.
பிஷப் மன்னிப்பு கேட்டதோடு இந்த விஷயம் முடியல. காவல்துறை ஆய்வாளர் அப்பாதுரை மீது நடவடிக்கை எடுக்க வேண்டும். இந்த விஷயங்களை எல்லாம் அதே போல காவல்துறை முன்னாடியே பத்திரிகையாளர்களை சில பேர் தாக்கியும் அவதூறும் பேசி இருக்கிறார்கள். அவர்கள் மீதும் காவல்துறை நடவடிக்கை எடுக்க வேண்டும். இந்த சம்பவத்தை சென்னை பத்திரிகையாளர் மன்றம் வன்மையாக கண்டிக்கிறது.
This is a highly deplorable and condemnable act. Journalists come basically to seek information. If the bishop or his staff did not want the journalist to be on their premises, they could have politely told him so and then sent him out politely. Instead, they behaved in a very rude fashion. They illegally confined somebody, which is highly condemnable.
Well, after all that drama, here's what the Archbishop at Santhome had to say to the press gathered at that spot there.
ஆகவே எதிர்பாராத நடந்த நிகழ்ச்சிகளாக இருப்பதனாலே யாருடைய மனசை புண்படுத்த வேண்டும் என்றோ ஒரு பத்திரிகை நிருபர்களுடைய உரிமையை பறிக்க வேண்டும் என்றோ அல்லது பாதிக்க வேண்டும் என்றோ குறை கூற வேண்டும் என்றோ நடத்தப்பட்ட நிகழ்ச்சி அல்ல. அப்படி உங்களுக்கு வருத்தப்படக்கூடிய நிகழ்ச்சிகள் வார்த்தைகள் ஏதாவது இருந்தால் நான் என்னுடைய தரப்பிலே நான் மன்னிப்பேன்.
And our reporter Shabir Ahmed, who was at that spot today, joins us live right now from our Hindu studios. Shabir, now that that complaint has been filed and the Additional Commissioner of Police has spoken to you, is there going to be any action at all taken against the church authorities for their behavior today?
Well, Evelyn, that is what one hopes. Journalists have pinned their hope on the promise given by Additional Commissioner of Police Shakil Akhtar. In fact, two complaints have been lodged at the Mylapore police station. One by the TV crew, which was held hostage this afternoon. Another complaint by the Chennai Press Club General Secretary Bharati Tamilan, who was there immediately on the spot when after hearing the news that two journalists of a private television channel have been held hostage. But the problem here is that they aren't able to find who is exactly the people who threatened and abused the TV crew and who are behind this entire incident. So the names are not known, and now journalists demand that they have to find out the names and the police have to help them in finding out the names, because in fact this afternoon they took TV camera person of that particular channel who was held hostage this afternoon to identify the persons. But those three people who tried to attack and assault the camera person, including our camera person, Ndtv-Hindu camera person Lucas, those people were not there, not present at the spot immediately after the incident. And now the journalists have demanded that somehow the police must track their identity and they must be brought to the book. That is what one hopes at this point in time. But Additional Commissioner Shakil Akhtar was very clear when he said that action will be taken, a free and fair inquiry will be conducted, because this is something unprecedented which has never happened. And also the journalist community is extremely angry and agitated with the fact that a police officer who was there on the spot, the Inspector of Police Appadurai, did not do anything to take any action or to resolve the crisis which was there, which could have easily been sorted out amicably. And that is what the cause of concern, and that has led to this entire high drama at the Bishop's house in Santhome, Evelyn.
Right, thanks very much indeed, Shabir, joining us with those details. The police's inaction once again being the top question on their minds. Now, in other news from the city, it's been a virtual deadlock over the fee structure case for private schools, but the Madras High Court is now set to hold a final hearing on the fee structure on the 29th of November. Ever since the stay over the fee structure was ordered by the Madras High Court, parents in different parts of Chennai have been staging demonstrations ever since. Hearing a batch of petitions moved by the private schools' managements, the Madras High Court ordered the stay. But the private schools had earlier also challenged the recommendations in the first case, saying that they will have to compromise on the quality of education if financial requirements were not met. Meanwhile, the opposition has lashed out against the government for using delaying tactics and for being a mute spectator to the exorbitant prices charged by private schools. And joining us live right now from our newsrooms is our senior correspondent Peer Muhammad, who's been bringing us all the buzz from the court halls. Peer, the state government has been receiving flack for not appealing against that stay order. Is there any truth in those accusations by the opposition?
Yes, Evelyn, there is some truth in the accusations leveled by the CPM State Secretary G. Ramakrishnan today. The government has not put its arguments forcefully in the court, especially when Justice Vasuki passed this interim order yesterday. Obviously, there was no lawyer from the government side to put forth its case powerfully. And what they did is, in the evening, Additional Advocate General went to the Madras High Court and said, the same chamber, and said, we would like to argue our side because it has created a lot of confusion in the parents' mind. That happened in the evening, and the judge, in fact, allowed the Additional Advocate General to put forth his arguments in the court today afternoon. And when he was given time, he was saying that this has created confusions, and the private schools will be overcharging, so some immediate hearing should be done on this case. But the justice posted it for hearing on final hearing on 29th of November, Evelyn.
Right, we'll have to perhaps wait only for that date to find out how this case really pans out. But thanks very much indeed, Peer, for joining us with those details from the courts. Now, while the government and the private schools have been at loggerheads on the fee structure issue, the parents really are not left only in the lurch, but now are also thoroughly confused. Let's in fact bring you some of the questions that's been popping up in the minds of many parents in the city. An email we've received says, what will happen to the nearly 3,500 schools that have already implemented the Justice Govindarajan Committee's recommended fee structure? An SMS to us reads, is the stay applicable to the 6 private schools that have moved the High Court, or to all the private schools across the state? A few more parents have written in saying, does this mean that private schools will now get a free rein in deciding the fee structures, and whether the very purpose of the Govindarajan Committee formed to regulate excess fees is lost now? If you want to echo similar sentiments, we'd love to hear from you as well. Our email address is feedback@ndtv-hindu.com, and you can start emailing us right away, and we will feature your replies on our channel as well. Now, Ndtv-Hindu also caught up with a few parents in person. Here are a few angry voices that echoed the similar concerns today.
Very strict on to Govindarajan Committee. That's all. Our parents association, everybody decided we are only for Govindarajan Committee fee structure. That's all.
Parent side, we have no confusion. We are very clear. The management itself is confusing us. They are trying to divide us. That's the problem. That's why they are making confusion among us.
This is Headlines Now. Still ahead, the Kollywood Kings make their presence felt in the list of national awardees. 3 cheers for the Mera 3.
Headlines Now is brought to you by